Hello again. Happy April for the 28th time. So today I was going to talk more about adulthood, which I'm sure Caroline will be very happy to hear about because Caroline has been such a fan of my adult videos. But I found that it's kind of funny. I've been talking a lot with like Erica and a little with Grace the last time that she was here, but and Sarah and Amanda, and we've been talking about like backup jobs in case our life just goes to hell after we graduate. And what will we do if we really have nothing and everything goes horribly wrong? Is the lighting in here okay? I can't see. Oh god. Okay. Nope. Well, anyway, here. There we go. That's much more moderate. Okay. So I wrote a list of job backups that I have, and these are actually kind of serious. So, if my life goes to crap, then I'll know what to do. So the first option is kind of a radical option. So the first option is if it's kind of like I'm going to apply for an internship after I graduate, like to be happening the summer after I graduate. And if I don't get that internship, then I could work for a different production company. Or alternatively, since I'll be young and strapping and fresh out of Japanese, I could also go to Japan and teach English in Japan and possibly. Apparently, if you're teaching English in Japan, a lot of times the program that you're with put you in like rural areas or something, or like areas that aren't that exciting for young people. But I would actually be really interested to see what rural Japan is. And if I was teaching in Japan, then I think that would be an interesting opportunity for me to just travel around with my camera and practice and get cool footage and maybe vlog about being in Japan and stuff like that. So I actually think that would be a really cool idea. So that's why it's number one on my list. And I'm relatively certain that it's cheaper to live in Japan than it is to live in the Bay Area in California, but I'd have to see about that. So option number one, if my life fails, is teach English in Japan. Now, option number two is a little more level. So let's say if I teach in Japan and then I come back and my life is still crap and I can't do anything, then I would actually really love to work at a grocery store. I know that a lot of people probably wouldn't want to do that, but I love grocery stores, and I love being in grocery stores, and I love looking at food, and I also really like organizing, which is part of the reason why I'm kind of fit to be an editor, because assistant editor work is actually a lot about organizing stuff. So I think it'd be really fun to shelve shelves and talk with people and recommend good cheese with good wine. So I think that'd be really nice. And a lot of the better grocery store chains offer really good benefits. So I would love to work at Trader Joe's. Hint, hint. Trader Joe's if you're watching. So that would be my second thing. And then again, if I'm working at a grocery store, there's still plenty of time to do video stuff on the side. So the third thing is also kind of something that might apply to English majors. So with an English major, it seems that if you're an English major, in school you learn a certain skill set that is actually applicable to a variety of jobs. But the reason that people are kind of hesitant about English majors or about them pursuing English as a major is because English doesn't have like a direct job linked to it. It's like if you go to medical school, you will be a doctor, and doctors are linked to medical school, but there's no job that's linked directly to English. But English actually has a lot of connections. It's just that you as the student have to kind of make that connection yourself, which is actually a little easier than you might initially think. So the third option is just being a temp in a law office. So a lot of law offices, as I've been told by one of our lawyer friends. Law offices actually need a lot of temps, and you really don't need to have any like law degree to be a temp because you're basically doing filing, and you don't need anything for that. You just need kind of organizational skills. Organizational skills? Yeah. So, and then if you are a temp and you want to get paid more, then while you're a temp, you could go to community college and get your whatever classes you need to be a paralegal, and then you can get a boost up in that. And a lot of English majors do end up going to law school and becoming lawyers. So that is always an option for an English major. So the next stuff is if I wouldn't say I would want this for like my long-time career, but it would be a good substitute if I was just trying to take a break and trying to figure things out. So the options are a writing tutor. So there are always writing labs at community colleges, at least community colleges in the Bay Area. And I have a very good connection and relationship with the people at the writing lab at Berkeley City College. And I've been offered a job there, and it's $15 an hour since I have my AAT degree. But it's just kind of a matter of scheduling. So I haven't been able to be a writing coach yet, but it's also because I'm not sure if I want to put my time into being a writing coach when I could be being a video editor intern. You know what I'm saying? So I haven't pursued that yet, but if I ever wanted to come back to it, writing coach is an option. Also, on that same path, if my life turns to crap, I could go back to graduate school, and I could get a master's and be a professor at a community college, or I could just go all the way and get my PhD and become a professor at a university and then write essays for the rest of my life, which I actually think would be kind of really nice and fun because I like writing essays. Another thing that you could do with an English major as well is go into the publishing business. And actually, another thing that I think is really interesting is translation. I'm really interested, or I've recently become really interested at literature and translation, particularly like medieval languages and translation, but I've also been thinking a little bit about Japanese literature and translation, but I am obviously not at a language level to translate Japanese, nor am I at a language level to translate any medieval languages. But translation is a very interesting field, I think. So that is also another path that might be possible. And then just in general, you can always be a blogger and you can always be a vlogger, I think. I mean, it takes a long time to build those up, and you have to put a lot of time into it with nothing in return, probably for the first couple of years that you're doing it. But I do think that if you work really hard, then you can be a successful blogger/vlogger, and you can probably make a good amount of money off of that. Maybe even enough to sustain yourself. So that is always an option, I think. And then the last thing is my real dream job, which is to have my own farmer's market stand with Caroline. But that would require a lot of both of our lives failing miserably and us also happening to end up in the same place. And I'm not really sure where Caroline is thinking of living after graduating or something, but I mean, I'm not really sure where any of us are going to live after graduating, so that's kind of strange. And that's maybe thinking too much into the future, and I don't want to do that right now. So yeah, those were my job alternatives. So I actually have a lot more backup plans than I thought, but yeah. So, feel free to share your backup plans. I know Erica has some radical backup plans, even more radical than mine, I would say. But yeah, anyway, I hope you're having a nice April. I really need to go finish my final papers. So I will see you tomorrow.